would be again on a Fibonacci, right? Let's look at what is happening in SBI. SBI is already retracing. So this move, if I look at, started from here. So you can expect at least 322 level for SBI to be retracing at, and another level could be 320, which I said it might come to fill up the gap. So that will be 50% retracement on SBI. So Sanjeev, the, when you apply your ATR tool on a daily chart, let's say this is SBI. Now SBI daily chart, you see the ATR is written here 7.98 for today, and the move from yesterday's closing till today has already happened around 8.26. So let me take out this ATR tool separately. Right, so this is the ATR. I have deliberately reduced the color brightness such that it doesn't disturb me, or it doesn't. Let me apply it so that it is clear to you. Okay. So this is ATR now, and corresponding to that on the right hand side you can see what is the ATR number for the day. For whichever day you choose, let's say today ATR is 7.98, I can take my cursor to yesterday's candlestick. Yesterday the ATR was 7.76 and it got consumed 10.50, right? If you remember in workshop, I gave you example of, you know, you running in a day, or your capacity to walk, and one fine day you may be walking more than your usual capacity for whatever circumstances. Remember the example of dog, or maybe then it turns out to be the mad dog behind you, or then it turns out to be a cheetah behind you, right? Then you cover beyond your usual ATR, which is calculated based upon 14 days move, 14 days average period, right? So yesterday when ATR was 7.76, for some or other reason it covered more distance of 10.50. And before that, if you look at on this particular date, which is, let's say, 6th January, right? The 6th January again the ATR was 7.24, but the SBI fell almost 16 point. Right? SBI had fallen that day 16 point. So more than 2 times of ATR. But it occasionally happens for some or other reason, right? So if you look at the history of SBI, once here on 6th January, once again in 6th December, once in 31st October, it has moved beyond two ATRs. Otherwise, you will see the candlestick of SBI are of the same size, मतलब 6 point की कैंडलस्टिक होती है, right? So आज के डेट में although कैंडलस्टिक छोटी बनी है, but what has happened is there is a gap, right? कल की क्लोजिंग 319.7 थी, जो कि आज ऑलरेडी मूव पहले ही यहाँ तक आ गया है 28.08, 328.08 तक. So this is what is a consumption of the ATR. Once it is already uh, uh, walked its maximum distance, it has been now tired, and it's a usual day. Whatever news was there yesterday in the conference of Donald Trump, that has already played in the morning. Now it will not. Once good news is out, it is no more a good news. It's just a news, right? So now no more I'm expecting bigger moves in this, except some small retracement. Now, in small retracement, what may happen is my fear or greed may be much stronger. I may take wrong trade. So I should avoid once the ATR consumed. That's what I've taught you in GTI workshop, right? So either it may retrace to 38% or to fill up this gap because it is a noise gap, right? And after filling up this noise gap, it may go back again. And if you are good at execution of that, it's worthwhile trading. Otherwise, leave it. Market may remain bullish for the day. The opportunities are already gone. So if you want to be taking a trade now, allow the market to come down to the retracement of 23% or 38% and wait for bullish signals here. Even in case of Tata Steel, let's see what is happening in a 10-minute chart. Right, in a 10-minute chart, if you look at Tata Steel, so Tata Steel was following up certain channels, right? It went out of the channel and it's trying to get into the channel again, and it is now this time. Welcome, Sanjeev. Uh, at this point of time, you see now this channel is working as a resistance for it, right? So where is the gap here? The gap is here. So Tata Steel may come down to fill up this gap. Now you might see surprisingly that gap is enough. So one, that gap is almost parallel to the super trend, right? And it is just below 38%. So I can expect Tata Steel to be moving down to the level of 378 or so, or 376.5. So there is a short trade on it, right? And because I'm already long in Tata Steel and it's my swing position, I'm not closing this position. Otherwise, I could have taken a short position. Or if I want, I can take a P. Let's say Tata Steel, or I can short a future, right? Um, let's say Tata Steel future, I add all future here, and I also add put here. Put of 483. 480 will be the January. So I can add that, and you will see now put is going upside. How long it will go upside? As long as the gap is to be filled. So don't expect much bigger move in that, right? And in fact, if you see, your Praj Express has given you entry here as well. No, Praj Express has not given you that. Get on. However, we always look at our underlying asset class. So my underlying asset class is clearly saying there is a downtrend. It's making lower lows and lower highs. Right? So there is a possibility of a trade. At this point of time, I may not take it. So if somebody wants to trade, this PE will fill up the gap at 17.12. That's around 4 point, and 4 point is around $6,000 trade, right? But since market is already bullish, it has reversed. I would be not keen on taking trade. I would, after making good money, you should always be monitoring your greed, right? So since I have already booked 1,37,000 and there is already 14,000 on my table, which will, let's say by noon time, it will turn out to be around 20,000. It's good money for me, 1.5 lakh rupees even at this point of time, right? So why should I fall into the greed? कि मैं इसको शॉर्ट करूँ, उसको लॉन्ग करूँ. मोस्टली जो स्टॉक्स में हम लोग ट्रेड करते हैं, मोस्ट ऑफ दोज स्टॉक्स आर ऑलरेडी 2% up plus. So ATR consumed, I am not interested in going long. But at the same time, looking at the market, it may be slow in retracing. I also don't want to stress myself rather than enjoy the fruit of the trade of today. That's my philosophy. Right? And the fact is, you will get very less opportunities now in this kind of scenario. और बड़ी स्लो अपॉर्चुनिटीज आएंगी थकाने वाली. जैसे कल मार्केट ने थकाया, वैसे आज मार्केट थका सकती है. मार्केट बहुत नीचे जाती है, गैप डाउन के साथ में तो भी थकाती है, और मार्केट गैप अप चालू होती है तो भी थकाती है. All right, let me look at question of Yogesh. Say so. Option chain data tentative lower level of activity below 1600, 1600. Okay, so first of all, this channel of Bank Nifty is broken, so let me remove this channel. I'm a channel trader, guys. I trade trends only. Now it gives me a sense Bank Nifty is at double top. It's in a distribution zone, and there is a gap upside here. There's a gap upside here, which is at 32,065, and there is a gap downside, and you can move both the sides. I hope I have it made here. Kind of bearish Harami structure at this distribution zone. Always keep your eyes very open so that quickly आप ये इसका distribution zone है. Let me give it a different color. ये क्रूशियल जोन है. जब तक ये टूटेगा नहीं तब तक कोई ट्रेड करके मतलब नहीं है. पहली बात यहाँ पे. ठीक. So this gives me 31,000, let's say 800, 31,900 का रेंज. 100 पॉइंट का रेंज दे रहा है ये मेरे को. Based upon that, if I go to option chain data, and I go to option chain data on Bank. So this is my strike price, 700 to 800 के बीच का. I mean OTM here. So 31,500 and 32,000 seems to be the range in which Bank Nifty has got strong resistance and support. And this is one wonderful feature, guys. You can observe from here what is happening and place directly order from this option chain. This also tells you whether there are short build-ups or long build-ups, whatever is happening. So let's say a long build-up is happening on this front. Those are the ITM calls, and you can directly place the order from here, right? Although I'm in no mood after this kind of move, but so 31,500 to 31,000 So 32,000 is the range in which you can expect Bank Nifty to be active. And as the time moves, you will come to know what to look for. Look for in other option chain also. So option chain PCR is also calculated here, volume wise, and this thing. So it's a mildly bullish move in Bank Nifty. Let's look at the Nifty. Nifty, I think the PCR is 1.26, and this morning, let me take out my notepad. I've got the data of yesterday in my diary, so I can compare it with what had changed here. So my PCR yesterday for this option chain was 0.79 at the end of the day, which now has increased to 1.26, and my next option chain was at 1.26. Let me see what is that now. So that has increased to 1.48, and my 30th Jan PCR was 1.27 yesterday night. So now it is standing at 1.3. So that means if you look at overall puts, more puts have been written. That should also be visible from, let's say, if I go to NSE site and start looking at option chain there, I get the data from there as well. The same. So you would see on the put side from 12,000, 12,050, 12,100, 12,150, lot of options have been written, right? A lot of put have been written. In fact, 12,230, 1 lakh put right away. These are all data of today, Bika data. And on the call side, you see a lot of unwinding has happened up to 12,100, but the shorters are thinking that 12,150 is the level for today. The expiry might happen at this level, 150 के आसपास में. And अगर आप निफ्टी देखोगे 12,145 में है. Looking at this data, I can tell you that निफ्टी में अभी बहुत मूवमेंट होने की उम्मीद नहीं है. Although it may be volatile, but that's the level where it had started. But this also would be visible from 10-minute candlestick. If you look at the 10-minute candlestick in Nifty, Bank Nifty also is more than 25% of ATR as well as in this place. 132, 178. That means we're talking about 46 point, 46 point over 110. So we're talking about 40% of the ATR getting consumed within 10 minutes, within the 10-minute candlestick. That's opening range candle. So obviously the move after that is going to be consolidating. So not much of the trade at the moment. Any other questions, guys? How many of you have come prepared after studying yesterday night? ट्रेड करने के लिए प्रिपेयर्ड कितने लोग होके आए थे? I mean, if you came prepared to make a trade today, okay, so Reliance Industries, something wants me to analyze. Okay, let's go into our market watch. Market watch can be classified in the different folders here, guys. This is what I have done so that I can quickly find out my scripts and their category. A lot of data which has been I have worked yesterday on can that data can be quickly uh, accessed for fast moves. Right. Let me open first. Always when you are trying to analyze anything, take a naked chart, no tools applied, only look at the candlestick from larger time frame, go to the smaller time frames. So the time frame I'll take is a month. And if I look at, see that when you look at the larger time frames first, you would see a larger picture. So on a larger side, you see the Reliance has made at different point of time, different kind of moves. Here Reliance has splitted its share, here it has splitted, and today it is standing at the double top. Right? This is a this is more of a distribution zone on a monthly chart. When you look at a weekly chart, you would see weekly chart. It tried to enter the distribution zone, but it could not enter even the distribution zone. Although, uh, you know, it has tried 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it struggled to penetrate that zone. It did, and then it retraced. Now you can see the retracement on a weekly chart. The retracement was from this move, right? And the retracement exactly 23.6% from where it is going upside, right? So any time frame you can apply the retracement, you will come to know of. These are the levels which I have already, you know, uh, marked there, such that I can always follow that. I don't need to rework on a daily chart. My study on Reliance is that it is in an uptrend. And looking at the weekly chart, you can see these weekly line, monthly lines. I'm also aware of that, it has entered this weekly distribution zone but could not penetrate that, and it has retraced from there. Right? There was a uh, fresh this chart. There was a gap in Reliance. It has been filled up. This was a what kind of gap was this, guys? Anybody remembers this gap? Whether it's a novice gap or a professional gap? कौन सा टाइप का गैप है? संजीव आपसे ही सवाल पूछता हूँ. You have taken training recently, right? So this is a gap in the same direction. The market was going up, it opened upside. So this is a novice gap. And no specialty of novice gap is they get filled up very fast. So Reliance has filled up this gap. I think it was Prashant who was trading the other day when I gave the target of 15,010 when he had exited with a profit much earlier, right? So it filled up the gap within the same day here, and then again it came down to touch the lower trend line of the ascending channel, right? And from there now it has turned upside. We got a morning star here. You could see that very clearly on the lower side of it. So if you want to know now where Reliance can head, so this, let's say from this downside to upside, if I use the Fibonacci very clearly says it came to 61%. From 61%, it has gone 61% Fibonacci is a golden Fibonacci ratio, right? Now I want to set the target for the next up move of Reliance, right? What I would do is I would do the so I would do the extension, right? So if I apply, so first target it has got upside is a 1618. That's almost 100 points on Reliance. This side upside. Now once this target is achieved, the next target is 1693 point. That will be the 100% this downside covered completely. And the next target is a 1767. The next target is 1830, and next to next target will be 2000. And I'm sure you might be reading the analysis of Reliance from various broking houses, and that's the target of 2000 they are giving. Once you know the technical, once you already know the technical analysis, you see this is the target of this gap also, right? This 2000 का जो target है 2019 is the target of this gap. यहाँ पे कहीं gap है ये, right? Now let's see इस एरिया को थोड़ा बड़ा करके. तो when Reliance goes up, the first thing it will try to do is fill up this gap, right? Let me refresh this and come back, right? So ये जो gap है, ये यहाँ पे somewhere around at this point of time, yeah, this gap is, I think, this even this gap is not filled up yet. So this is there is a one. It's too small of the screen, guys. 1 minute. Let me use a magnifier here. Yeah. So 1641 will be the gap to be filled up by Reliance. First, ये वाला gap एक है. Then once that part is done, I think there is a larger gap here. Now let's do magnification here so that you get this idea, and you would see. So that's the long-term target for here it is 2194. So when any analyst is giving his opinion, he is giving opinion based upon certain tools and parameters. Of course, the company has to do the adequate business such that people remain invested in that. But these are the ways to calculate the futuristic targets as well. Right? All these tools we cover in our advanced technical alpha trading, be it Gann angles or be it elliptic theory or the theory. All right, so Reliance उधर का उधर खड़ा है, guys. Consolidation में, as I said in the morning, there will be not much happening on uh, the move side because majority of the move has already happened in the morning, right? Tata Steel, I think, is also there only. Consolidation के मोड में गया है, right? So they are not willing to come down too much. The stochastic is gone down already. यहाँ से कहीं से भी turn करेगा. All are up. All of the assets you will see they are RSI is above than 60. So they are in a bullish mode. And once the stock is in a bullish mode, you should not शॉर्ट इट, राइट? शॉर्ट करने का भी आपको आरएसआई का क्या रिलेशनशिप है, मैंने वर्कशॉप में सिखाया हुआ है. सो that is why I did not short it, although it may come down to this, fill up gap. तो अगर आज नहीं आया तो why to take that unnecessary risk, right? Nifty Bank, already we have spoken about it. Okay. This is in a distribution zone, and 10-minute candlestick is also very large here. That means it has already consumed 664. So 230 का मूवमेंट पहले 10 मिनट में हुआ, अब होने के बाद 230, 418, मतलब 51% के ऊपर. सो कंसीडर बैंक निफ्टी विल बी इन अ साइडवेज. तो नया पोजीशन लेके कोई ज्यादा मतलब नहीं बनेगा आज की डेट में. So this is again a one important parameter which you need to observe. जब तक ये टूटेगा नहीं तब तक इसको शॉर्ट करने का सोच नहीं सकते. जब तक ये इसके ऊपर जाएगा नहीं तब तक लॉन्ग जाने का सोच नहीं सकते. So there is no trade now. We are in a no trading zone. ऐसे में या तो आप ऑप्शन राइट करके पैसा कमा सकते हैं, टाइम की वैल्यू, बट आज ऑप्शन का एक्सपायरी है, सो यू वुड नॉट बी गेटिंग दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑल्सो. नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन सीरीज में जाके हम वो कर सकते हैं, राइट? एनी अदर क्वेश्चंस गाइस? सो रिलायंस का 52 रुपीज का आ गया. अगर मेरा वो ऑर्डर वहीं पे रहता था तो एग्जीक्यूट हो गया होता था. आई वुड हैव बुक्ड दिस 10,500 एक्स्ट्रा है. Right now, Reliance has started making up move. Let's look at what has happened on the international market. Pre-market study किया नहीं आज हमने. So you would get the impact of tweet of Mr. Donald Trump. Why it is important to have a overall view about the market. Most of the people, they come to the market, they think मैं सुबह आऊँगा, मेरे को technical analysis आता है and I'll make money or quick money. And most of the time, people get stuck up in that. You have to come prepared, well studied, well read. Then this market will give you good money. Let's go to the international indices. So if you look at international indices which are already closed now. Today is Thursday, so Thursday and Friday, Tadawul is closed. Tadawul is a Saudi Arabian stock index which I have recently added to my list of international markets which I observe, because it is directly in the Middle East. It's one of the largest oil producers in the world, and it is important. Whatever is happening in the Middle East, it will be directly impacting that. So this is yesterday's data on Tadawul. So 8-1, yeah. This is 10-17 right now. It might not be open. Ideally, it should be closed on Friday and Saturday. I think Sunday it would be working. So it might open yet. It is not still open. Okay. So it might be opening anytime then, if it is not a holiday for them. FTSC, that's UK. UK yesterday by closing was almost flat. Germany not impacted by the Middle East is at 0.71. CAC France that got 0.31% upside yesterday because their market closed after our market, right? So जब इन लोग का market close हुआ है तब तक internationally about Middle East some positivity had started and the market closed in green. S&P 500 index got closed 0.5% up, Nasdaq 0.67 up, Dow 0.56 up, New York Stock Exchange 0.26% up. So all these stock exchanges are closed now, but they were in green when they. And the impact of that when morning, the first exchange which opens up is a Nikkei, and you would see Nikkei is already at almost 2.16% up. Then you will have Kospi, South Korea, that's 1.22% up. The next exchange is Shanghai and CSI, they are 0.747, 0.8%. So look at Nikkei is much higher because it opened much earlier. And then after that is a South Korea. That means, and then China, right? So that means there is a scope for further up move. And where are we standing right now? We are at 1.11, right? So there may be little more up move left out for us, although the ATR is consumed. Now this is assumption, this is consideration. I'm not saying I will take a position or you should take a position, but that is how it is considered. Then we have, let's say, an exchange Nifty 50 future, which is being traded in Singapore. Right? That's 1.1% up, and that's trading at 12,190. So future trading at 190, that means there is a drop. It starts half an hour prior to us, and Nifty future on our exchange is at 12,210. That means Singapore is trading almost 20 point lower than us. Okay. So more or less today, all of these exchanges have been positive, and you would see India VIX would have gone down. India, let me take this meter, it would have gone at least 4-5% down. Yeah, so it's 11% down now, and let me add up USD INR. So USD INR would have also come down now. That's another index we always watch. Yeah. So USD INR is down by 0.08%. So rupee has become a little stronger. 72 में था कल, it's a 71.45. That's a good sign. Okay, these red signs are good signs for us, including VIX of S&P, or you can have the VIX of almost every market here. You can add VIX of, let's say, VIX of Nikkei. I don't know what they call, let's say, VIX of this country. The VIX क्या है? They will be talking about there. So this is S&P VIX I've already added. This is Chicago Board of Exchange. उसका VIX है. This is IPAR. I don't know about IPAR. कौन से country का है? These are various VIX. Stock exchanges के beyond भी है. Info MSC. Russian VIX, right? Let's see Russian VIX add करते हैं. We don't follow Russian market. Let's see what has happened in Russian market. Russian market will also be opening late, so right now it is closed. So Russian market yesterday VIX has gone up by 3.5%. So there is an impact of Middle East in Russia as well. Right. Let's look at our Nifty sectors. I have customized this, guys, so that I can quickly see this thing. This is also available in Shirkhan platform. How you go there is go in home and go in tools. And tools mean you got a heat map. Click on heat map, you will come to know what are the sectors doing here, right? So almost all the sectors are in green. You can click on to any of these sectors. Let's say, let's look at Nifty. They will keep on moving. Huh? They'll keep on moving up and down. So let's say Nifty metal को हमने choose किया. Nifty metal का क्या क्या है? उसमें क्या क्या stocks है? That comes here. So Nifty metal में these are the green ones are up, red ones are down, and the darker green ones are up by more percentage. Like if you look at JSW Steel, it's 3.38%, right? Tata Steel is 1.6%. So you can see that part of it also from here. And the best part is you can also open your chart from here. Let's say अगर आप टाटा स्टील को क्लिक करेंगे तो your chart will open. Although my chart is already open there that side. तो आप डायरेक्टली भी कर सकते हैं. So Tata Steel is coming slowly down to fill up the gap. That's what we assumed in the morning. But it should not be construed as a down move, but it is because it is at this resistance level. One. Second, it has a gap to fill up. And third, it has already, third, it's at a distribution zone. Fourth, it has already moved its ATR, beyond ATR. So थोड़ा retracement तो बनता है. Right? But Reliance is not retracing, guys. Right? Reliance is not retracing. Reliance ने पहले 10 मिनट की कैंडल को क्रॉस कर दिया. So it has become bullish now. Second candle में क्रॉस कर दिया. It's bullish now. But don't take a fresh position. Already सब 2% के ऊपर चले गए, right? So नई position लेके कोई meaning नहीं बनेगी. Make sense? Since Reliance has taken its move up, I'm not in the. I don't want to carry forward my positions, so I'll book this profit, guys. So this is up there. There's a small profit here in Tata Steel, and Tata Steel is retracing, so I just want to forget about that. At this point of time, at least I don't want to book, because book करने के लिए unless until Tata Steel you know goes back to this stage, 486 is my target for this swing position at this point of time. Or I'll take 60-minute chart, 60-minute 30 days. I'll wait whether it is able to go inside this channel back, because once it is in the channel, it will start its up move back again, right? So channel से बाहर भी निकलता है stocks, and they would try to go back to the channel. But now again on a swing position on a 60-minute chart, you see Praj Express has already given you the entry. On daily, there was already an entry, right? So there is no reason for me to exit that. Can you get that part? And on top of that, I think if you see closely, Tata Steel has also made a morning start at 12 days moving average. Sometimes you may be confused to verify that part. So take a cursor to the previous candlestick, see the opening, force 75.5, and see the closing, 475.25. So 0.25 का gap है इस green line में नीचे और इस green line में जो ऊपर है. So that qualifies it for a morning start. Though very fine morning start. Alright guys, that's from my side. I think it's already 10:27. If you have any questions, you can ask me before I close the webinar and this live session. I'm sure you have learned something on it. So far, I have closed 1,48,852 rupees profit, and day is done. One of my CSR is to provide opportunity for a financial freedom to the budding MBA students or the people who are interested in capital market. So this is one of the fastest way to achieve financial freedom. So you can contribute in their life. So let me know if you would like to participate. That might be on 4th of February from 1st of February. I'm in Delhi. Possibly until 5th I would be there. So we can have a small get together, whatever your doubts are there, whatever questions you have. Especially for Delhi guys, we will have one-to-one meetings. Alright guys, time to close the webinar. Thank you for participating. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Goodbye. Have a great day. Great trading. Bye.